All right, folks, welcome to the TEDxThirdWard podcast. I'm the organizer of TEDxThirdWard, Darrell Douglas, and we are joined here today with a phenomenal guest. Sometimes I would say needs no introduction, but y'all don't know who she is, so I'm going to do it for you. She is the Reverend Dr. Stephanie Wilkins. She probably looks familiar because she's kind of everywhere. And one of those places that she was in March of this year was at TEDxThirdWard as one of our speakers. Welcome, Reverend Doctor.
Well, thank you, Darrell. I'm glad to be here.
Yes. So there are a lot of people that are going to be watching. Some of these people attended TEDxThirdWard. Some of them didn't. Mm-hmm. Some of them are thinking about being volunteers or being speakers. So tell us a little bit about your TEDx. Like, where did it come from? And like, what was your big idea?
It came from the idea that I needed to get over myself. That I needed to put myself out there because I do have a story to share with people. I'm a person who has overcome a lot of losses, dealt with grief, and I also am a person of great hope, faith, and joy. And so I just wanted a platform to be able to share with other people about how it is possible to work through grief and to reclaim your joy in life. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So there were over 140 applicants.
That's what you told me.
And you ended up being one of them. So walk us back through the point of you deciding like, oh, I think I want to do this.
It was one of the things on my blessed list. I don't like the idea of a bucket list.
Okay.
It was, I said, I want to conquer this. I see people doing TED Talks and I listen to some of the TED Talks and I'm like, I could do that. And so I wanted to try and stretch myself. And so I submitted the information to you and, thankfully you chose my video. And, then it started, my walk of, again, getting over myself, because I found that as much as I love to engage with people, the idea of talking in what seemed like the dark or trying to get the idea condensed to the 10-minute allotted time, because I've had people say to me sometimes, just give us the headline, not the whole story. And so I can be effusive sometimes. And so just trying to understand the parameters of what was needed to bring a TED Talk to life, I had to learn that.
So there's probably some folks that are watching that are thinking about applying.
Okay.
So walk us back to literally like the process, like you filling out, because it's a Google form. With TEDxThirdWard, there's a Google form that you have to fill out. So you click apply. Did you sit down and do it all at once? Or what was your process?
I did because I had to, because I was very close to the deadline. But what I have found about myself, it is something about me when it seems like there's pressure, then it kind of gets my adrenaline going, and then I can just go ahead and be my authentic self as opposed to overthinking, which I have a tendency to do. And so I just filled it out, and then I heard from you all, and then you had me turning in tapes, giving me feedback, turning in tapes, giving me more feedback, sending emails saying, okay, you might want to try this. And so it actually helped me to get out of my ego, because a lot of times we think we know what's best, but in this format, I think it was very good for me to learn another way of being and doing.
So take us back to when you found out you made it. Do you remember where you were and what was the feeling after that? Were you excited?
Well, I was sitting in front of the computer, and I opened it up and it said, congratulations. Honestly, I burst into tears.
Wow.
Because it was, to me, God saying yes, that it was time for me to share my story. So I was very excited, and I called people, I told people about it, and everybody was just really, really, really excited. And then I fell. I had a really, really, really hard fall that almost took me out of this TED Talk. Wow. And so that if you go to the TED Talk on YouTube and I look so flawless, you just don't even know how much tape and wire and and pins and needles and things were under that. But again, anytime you endeavor to do something that's outside of your comfort zone, that stretches you, that grows you, you have to be ready for those attacks, those things that will come that will make you want to doubt yourself and say, you know, well, maybe I shouldn't. No, it was exactly the right time. And I'm just thankful that I pressed my way through, you know, because you and I had some dialogue about it as well. But that's what made me know that it was my time, because I pushed back.
Yes.
I pushed back on it because it was like, no, what you mean? Right. No, we're going to do this. Yes. So, yeah.
Any questions for me about the other end, like what it was like on the back end? Anything that you were curious
How
about?
in the world did you look through all of those tapes, and what were the types of things that made it stand out, where you pull it and say, okay, let me.
Got it. So I answered the last question first. It's literally like when you're looking for a book at the library, or when you're scrolling through YouTube, like the ones that like really stood out. And the way that our selection process, initially we had this idea that we were going to have a rubric, and we were and then, I mean, I remember like the last point that I checked, we were like 50, and I was like, okay. Then we open it up on the day before, or the day, you know, and it's like 140. So the way it ended up happening, there was a group of about, let's see, there was me, there was Cheryl, there was Tina, there was Akua, there was Dr. Inge, there was
Lena. Where did Lena come in?
Lena. Tina.
There was a young lady there by the name
Tiffany?
of Lena.
Lena.
You're going to have to go back and find her, because she was there in that group originally.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, don't worry about it. Sorry, Lena. But we all...
And the only reason it sticks out in my mind, she was one of my former students. And when she walked into the match building, I was like, what are you doing here? And she said, well, I'm part of the committee.
Okay.
I was like,
We had a Google spreadsheet, and it had all of y'all's info, and then to the left we inserted a column for each person, and so then we each got 12 votes.
Okay.
And so you would go through and you would put an X next to the person that you were, you know, fighting for, and we literally sat in the room, and there was like, when it came to the finalists, there was consensus around like the overwhelming majority.
Okay.
And you were in that majority. And then there were...
Thanks be to God.
And then there were some that were like, you know, a smaller portion is really fighting for this, and a smaller portion. And then we literally, at the table, are rewatching videos.
Okay.
And there's literally, like, what do they call it in court with the jury? There's literally...
The deliberation.
We're literally deliberating on like what it would look like. And it was... It may not have seemed like it, but it was an exhausting process, because it was like trying to pass a bill, trying to pass a law, trying to look at things from different instances. Anything else?
I just want to, the different categories. I don't know if it was just me, but it felt like even though we were different, it's somehow we all had a connective piece where we all seemed to intertwine together.
Absolutely.
I mean, was that deliberate, or was that just something larger than the committee? Because I'm telling you, we connected on a whole nother level.
I would compare it to, I heard Quincy Jones talking about how they came up with, what was the first Michael Jackson?
Off the Wall?
Off the Wall. He said they came up with over 100 songs. And then it was only after they picked out like the top ones that they went back, because they were like, okay, now we know what we're looking for. Okay. And it was like that for us. Okay. So we went from like 140 to like, once we got to see, you know, what the specific things were, then it was easier to find the other people that fell in line with like the album that we were putting together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice way to put that.
And so it was pretty easy.
So I like that my song is on the
your song was in there.
The first TED Talk.
Thank
you. I like that.
And then and it's interesting too, because you're of Third Ward.
Yes, I am.
Born and
raised. I'm there. So I'm there right now.
Absolutely. So what would you say was the hardest part of the process for you?
Narrowing the content down. And still remaining true to the story I wanted to tell. Because I promise you, if I'd had maybe 15, 20 minutes, I would have gone even deeper. But wanting to just keep the integrity of the thought,
Mm-hmm.
the idea.
Mm-hmm.
What did I want to get across? That was by far the most challenging piece. And so I have to give credit to Adonis, because Adonis reached out to me because I was really frustrated. I knew what I wanted to get out, but how to put it in the format was eluding me. And he talked me through it, walked me through it, and he said, just talk. And so I just talked. And then he was able to put it in like a format, an outline. And I was like, yes, you get it, you get it. And so once I had that, then, you know, the air came back, the wings came back, and then I was able to fly again. So, yeah.
So you've gotten your yes, you've gotten your, you know, now it's the day of.
Oh, God.
It's the day of, so you show up. Yeah. Walk us through that day.
Well, no, it was really the night before.
Oh, the night, that's true.
It was the night. It was the night before.
Tell folks what the night before is like.
You don't sleep. You're listening to yourself. You know, it was me listening because to just speak, as opposed to just like we asked for a prompter. There's no prompter. There's just you and the audience and the tape. And so just wanting to make sure that I brought life to it, that I again gave the nuggets that I wanted to get across to people. So it was not a lot of sleep that night. It was a lot of going over. And then at a certain point in time, I said, this is crazy.
Yes.
Let me stop. Let me unplug, because if I'm going in there looking haggard and crazy, you know, that's going to show on the video itself. And so the morning of, could not eat, be honest with you, even though, you know, food was available. But then when we got there and we're all in the room together and we're getting all zhuzhed up and we're getting, you know, the face beat and everything, then again, you know, the excitement is welling up. And then I was able to eat just a little bit, but just wanting to make sure, again, for me, the most important thing was just getting the points out to the audience. But what I will say is there was just so much support from everybody, even the other TED Talk crew and the people, because we all understood what we had gone through to get to that point. And so there was a lot of encouragement, a lot of, you got this, you can do this, just be you. And so I really appreciate that, because I don't know, I'm of a certain age, I'm not going to tell you, but I'm a seasoned saint. And so a lot of times you don't get a lot of encouragement and support and empowerment. A lot of times you get in arenas where people see you as competition and they want to pick at you. And so for people to come in and really affirm you, even though you know what you're doing is a good thing, a great thing, an empowering thing, it just helps when you have somebody saying, you got this, you got this, you could do this, you got this. And so that was very helpful. And so the best part was getting out there, saying it, not tripping up over it, and then getting the applause and walking out. Okay, it was like, kind of like a little mini birth. You wouldn't know anything about that, but kind of like a little mini birth. We delivered it, right.
I remember you got feedback. Somebody told you to wear something different. Remember that? I don't remember who did it. But somebody told you, but your dress was beautiful, and I think
thank you.
I think it fit the whole thing.
Right.
It was
right. And what they did, and I just made my decision. I said, if I'm going out here, I'm going out here as me.
There you go.
And so I wore that dress because it made me feel like a queen.
Yes.
And I said, I feel like that as much as anything, if I feel like a queen, then that's the way I'm going to present. And so I'm just really glad that I did not take that. They were saying that the design would somehow mess with the camera. And I said, okay, thank you.
I do remember at the last minute, because we had, we made 2 last minute decisions that were unpopular. We were supposed to have programs, but I knew that once I realized how important the technical rehearsal was, and we didn't have one, then I was like, well, then we can't give out programs, because then people won't know if we have to move stuff around. That was number one. The second thing, I remember coming in and looking through the viewfinder of the camera and seeing what the slide deck looked like. And I was like, is that what it's going to look like? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay, we got to shut the curtains, because it had that really weird, you know, when you're watching like church virtually and it doesn't, So yeah, those were like last minute decisions that that came over. So what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about applying as a speaker or a volunteer? They're thinking about it, but they think that their application has to be perfect. They're what's the term? Giving up the great for the good. What advice do you give to that person?
I would say that if it really is a burning desire, see it through.
Absolutely.
If nothing else, you have the experience,
Mm-hmm.
the practice of it, just even putting yourself out there.
Absolutely.
Be courageous.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the only way you'll know. Nothing beats a failure but a try. I know it's an old saying, but it still holds true.
Did you run your idea or your app or your title through other people first, or did you keep it internal in yourself?
I kept it internal.
Kept it to yourself?
I kept it internal.
Mm-hmm. Is what's up. So other than your own, I'm going to ask everybody this question too. Mm-hmm. Other than your own TEDx, whose was your favorite and why?
I'd have to say Jatina.
Yeah.
Because that's what I need.
Yes.
I need rest. Yes. I could use some rest. Yes. And so just her whole aura was peaceful.
Yes.
And so she embodied what she was talking about. I'm like, okay, I want to go back to Mexico with you. Can I go back? Right, can I go to the spa? Yes. Can I? All the things that she described, I could see it. Yes. I could feel it. She used such sensory words that it was really just, she took you there.
Yeah.
She took you there. And so I really enjoyed her. I enjoyed everyone's. what is the young lady? Lucy?
Yes. Yes.
The passion that came from her.
Yeah.
When she was so meek and so
quiet. Oh, you mean Vivian.
Vivian.
Yes.
Thank you. Vivian.
Yes.
Her mother, she and her mother came in just so quiet and so humble and weren't really talking. And we're like, okay, well, who is this person?
Yeah.
So soft. And then she gets out there on that red circle.
And killed it.
And just crushed it. And I mean, it's like a flower opening up.
Yes. And I'll give you another moment of like behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. She didn't, if you remember, she didn't give her talk the night before.
She didn't.
She came over and she was like, is it okay if I just do it tomorrow? And for context, y'all, Vivian is a student, right? Mm-hmm. And so I kind of told her, I was like, okay, if you can't do it in the morning, we're not going to be able to put you there. Right. So that was another reason for the program, because I'll be honest, I didn't have the faith.
Right.
I was like, there's no way, I'm not going to put her in front of 100 and something people,
right,
if she can't do it in the morning, and we would have to figure something out. She gets there that morning, and
yes, she did.
I'm watching from backstage, and I'm like, oh.
I'm telling you, a flower opening up and blossoming. Because I'm telling you, backstage, when she was just very quiet and soft, and gets there and just bam.
Yeah.
It was wonderful to watch.
Yeah, she did it. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You are a light unto the world. I say it all the time. You are everywhere. I log on to Facebook. If there's some kind of event, something in the community, some kind of something, you're at everything. And so this was a beautiful experience. And hopefully you stay around for cohort 2.
Okay.
Because the new folks are going to need your guidance.
Okay.
I think people like you and people like others being part of the conversation is going to make it a lot easier, because then they'll have people to lean on. And I think we're planning on doing these events in person where people can kind of come. I'm thinking it'll be like American Idol or Star Search. So it'll be like you get to workshop,
right,
like a little mini something,
yes,
and kind of pitch it. And I think that'll help people.
Okay. All right. I look forward to it.
Yes. Any closing words?
I would just still say, for those who are overcoming grief and reclaiming their joy, grief is an act of love. So go through the grief. Don't let it be your final destination. Hope, faith, joy is possible.
Yes. And you have a book and some events that are coming up?
I have devotional journals that you can get on my website. You want me to spell it all
absolutely.
out? Okay, so they can go to Reverend Dr. Stephanie T. Wilkins.com, STEPHANIETWILKINS.com.
There you go.
The books are there, and also the upcoming workshop I'm doing on reclaiming joy, which will take place on September the 13th from 10 to 12.
Awesome. Well, you heard it here first. Applications are open all the way up until September the 20th. I won't forget that day. That's my birthday. So
Okay.
all the way up until
Hint.
all the way up until September 20th. If you're thinking about applying to be a TEDx speaker, if you have something in your heart, in your soul, if you have a big idea to share with the world, we would love to have you at TEDx Third Ward. Visit TEDxThirdWard.com for more information.
Sounds good.
There we go.
Okay.